Well, new tonight, flu is coming back with a vengeance with cases rising across the country.
Yeah, it sure is. And the Centers for Disease Control says 8 states, including South Carolina, have the highest level of flu activity. South Carolina Bureau Chief Shakira Speaks joins us down in the studio, breaking down what's driving this surge. Shakira.
Well, Brian, DHEC says the percentage of flu cases and hospitalizations have increased week by week. The state also reported widespread activity last week. And so far, there's only been 1 death associated with influenza this season, and it happened during the first week in October. I spoke to a pediatric infectious disease doctor about the early surge in cases in the Palmetto State.
We are definitely starting to see an early influenza season here.
MUSC Dr. Allison Eckert says over the last few weeks, doctors have seen a tremendous increase in flu cases, both in influenza A and influenza B. She says during October, cases dramatically increased after they already saw a large uptick in September.
How you feeling?
Fine, thank you. So in South Carolina, this is exceedingly rare and unusual. We typically start seeing influenza increase to this extent, usually December or January. There are some years that we really don't see an increase like this until even February or later.
The CDC's weekly influenza map shows South Carolina, along with 7 other states, with high cases of influenza.
That is a little abnormal to have such an early influenza season here, but to have it be isolated to the South and really just a few states. But the rest of the country really has not seen the increase that we have yet.
Dr. Eckert says although influenza has a normal cycle of coming back to the U.S. during the winter, doctors don't really know where the early surge came from.
I suspect that it has something to do with a disruption of the normal patterns because of the COVID pandemic.
Dr. Eckert says that part of the rise at this point in the year, is because people are behind on their flu vaccine because the flu season is normally anticipated in a surge in December and January. So the biggest thing that people can do now is go out and get their flu shots. It takes about 2 weeks to really mount to a full response after the vaccine. So the sooner you get it, the better. Guys.